Two political notes here. One is from Senator Tom Tillis. He's a senator in North Carolina, and surprisingly, he has announced he's not running for re-election in 2026. The reason is he voted against President Trump's big, beautiful bill that is a huge budget bill. And
I mean, the pressure was on.
Mm-hmm.
And Senator Tillis had been kind of hinting that he was not going to vote for it, that he was not a supporter. And he was getting hammered by MAGA Nation.
That's right.
Hammered.
That's right. I never know what to believe. It's like, is this going to be good or is it not going to be good? Because half say, oh, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other half say, oh, it's crushing and Medicaid and, the debt's going to go sky high. That's the thing Elon Musk and Donald Trump are fighting over. Like Musk thinks it's terrible because the deficit is going to go high, the debt for the country. Well, we have Tom Tillis, who just said yesterday, I'm not running in 2026. We have his official statement to the press.
All right. I quit. I quit.
Can't say he didn't have style. This guy.
Wow.
All right. Good for him. Can't say he didn't.
Trailblazer.
Yeah. Trump said, I'll get some MAGA to run against you.
Oh, he said, I'll support someone else in the primary.
Yeah. We'll just primary the hell out of you, Tillis.
That was
Thom.
Tillis.
Tom with an H.
That's right.
Tillis with an I.
Thom Tillis had never lost an election, period. He said, I'm not about to start now. You know why? Because I won't run. I won't even bother with it.
All right.
You heard the statement?
I quit. I quit.
That's not the most entertaining thing I've heard by a politician today, because Biggie was telling us that he was watching the Rob Ford documentary. Now, Rob Ford died years ago, but he was the mayor of Toronto, and he was embattled. He had some substance abuse issues and a lot of controversy.
And this is really behind the scenes of everybody that kind of worked with him and brought him into power.
Biggie just told us, and I'd forgotten about the interview, he was surrounded by the press.
Almost everywhere he went, because he was a lightning rod.
Right. This is, again...
I've forgotten most of the details, honestly.
Too. But there was a woman that had accused him of wanting to have sex with her.
Of inappropriate workplace behavior?
Yes.
Correct. And Biggie reminded us, now this clip is years old, but in the documentary they cover it, and the press surrounding him, and there are cameras in his face and all these microphones, they weren't asking him about this at all. It wasn't even the topic of conversation. But he brought up her name and said the accusations are ridiculous.
Oh, and the last thing was Olivia Gondak. It says that I wanted to eat her pussy, Olivia Gondak. I've never said that in my life to her. I would never do that. I'm happily married. I've got more than enough to eat at home. Thank you very much.
All right.
It was a different time.
It was.
Yeah.
That was something.
They interviewed some of the reporters who were there for that moment. Mm-hmm. And truly, they said there was no reason for that.
Right.
It was not being brought up at all. And he just was walking out of somewhere, and he's like, no, by the way, Olivia Dondick.
She said I wanted to...
Let me get this on the record while you all are here.
Right. My goodness. What does Biggie have in common with country music superstar Casey Musgraves? They're both fall risks.
Great.
Really?
She fell and fractured her 6th rib, is in so much pain that she is going to have to cancel postpone a couple of concerts. They just did the x-ray. She slipped during a rainy night in Mexico a few nights ago.
On stage or in a off stage?
Off stage.
Okay.
She slipped.
Like in a hotel or just somewhere?
That's right. And she's fractured her 6th rib. Her daily activities are extremely difficult. So her scheduled performance in Nashville had to be rescheduled because her rib was broken. I know. Paul Simon had to postpone some concerts because he's got terrible back pain. He says, in fact...
Oh, is he in his upper 80s yet? Or is he mid-80s?
I thought he was more... Let's see now. So he did this movie, The Graduate, in what, 1969? Is that right? 67?
I can't remember. I was thinking it was 67, I want to say, but I'm not sure.
God, that's almost 60 years ago. He's probably 80. I'm going to guess 83 on Paul Simon. Just a guess.
He's 83.
Oh, my God. I tell you what, these fridge cigs, they are really agreeing with me.
You better back up and redefine what a fridge cig is.
Diet Coke. refrigerator cigarette. Listen.
You think it makes them cooler?
I like how you're doing this thing with your tongue and your teeth every time you say refrigerator cigarette.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you lick your lips.
Yeah, you're dropping it like, yeah, refrigerator cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, they're so good. I've just seen an uptick in everything. You know, it was faster. It was everything. Once I started having the Diet Cokes again, unfortunately, they're terrible for you.
Well, I was going to say, will you let this roll through the week into the weekend?
Independence Day.
A-Train says go Independence Day. Yeah.
I feel like on a week from today, next Monday, we'll be sitting here and you'll say, I've got an announcement to make.
It's about Olivia Gondek? No.
No.
Yeah. Are you quitting? A la Senator Tillis.
No.
Yeah.
Well, in a way, yes.
I'm giving up my fridge.
I'll tell you, something made me say Jesus over the break. It involves Chris Kelly and the show The Bear, which we're both watching. I don't think you've gotten to this yet. It's not a big spoiler. But in one episode, they make a list of non-negotiables.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We gotten there? Okay.
No, that's where I got it.
That's where Kelly got the idea.
Yeah, okay.
A couple of years ago, he started with a bunch of non-negotiables. Now, so I did. At the beginning of the year, I wrote down 15 things, non-negotiable. The top one was, I will not have a Diet Coke in 2025. Every single one of them have been wiped. They've all been wiped away. Every single one of them are gone.
Like a sandcastle at the water's edge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I said to my wife, now, we were on vacation. We were at the beach until Saturday morning. And I said, okay, Friday's my last one. She goes, oh, keep it through the weekend. Keep it through. So I did. So I was guzzling them Saturday and Sunday.
Family thought you were happier, nicer to be around.
Exactly.
Wanted to spend time with you.
Right. And I said on Sunday night, I was like, okay, this is the last one. I can't have one now. And she goes, keep it rolling through 4th of July. I mean, obviously, keep it. And I was like,
are you colluding, Biggie?
This is what I should do.
I picture you too. The minute you crack one of these open and drink it, you just have such a great week. I know every vacation you leave, you're like, this is the best vacation we've ever had.
So wonderful.
Did your boy make it over?
So wonderful.
To the coast?
Oh, yeah. He was there for several
because he's
days.
about to head west.
Yes, he's about to head to Tennessee in a month, but he
Okay.
got time off from work.
Oh,
and
good.
Did his classes online, and it was wonderful. I mean, it was just, and the Diet Coke was just, last week.
Did you think you had more Diet Coke, or did your wife have more white wine?
Push.
Close.
I mean, I think it was really, really
In terms
close.
of raw ounces.
My wife, when she's had a few white wines, will just all of a sudden say something that's not even close to anything we've ever talked about,
Just a bolt out of the blue, as they say.
like something we've talked about like a month earlier. Like we had talked about Jaws 2
Whatever
weeks.
happened to Moby Dick?
Exactly. And she'll go like, and why is the boat called the Orca? She'll, apropos of nothing. The movie's not on, nothing. She'll just say it like that. Just say it out like that. Here's my thought on Jaws. All right. Interesting. I watched it again over the break because it was the 50th anniversary of the movie Jaws. Now, there are no sharks in these waters like that. That's the whole point is here's a great white shark where it never should be, right? I mean, that's
Amity Island?
Amity Island should never be there. So why is it there? But yet they catch another man-eating shark right off the coast. And I mean, I don't want to nitpick the movie. It's on my Mount Rushmore. It's phenomenal. But it's like, well, if there's not, and they bring it up onto the dock and...
Yeah, they string it up. They think they've caught the killer.
And Hooper says, look, it's a man-eater. It's extremely rare for these waters. So sharks like that are rare for these waters. Yet there are two right there within a day of each other. Secondly, Quint, played by Robert Shaw, makes his living hunting sharks. So it's like, how do you make a living doing that if it's so rare for these waters? I mean, you go to his hut, and there are all these jaws, And he's boiling one like he just caught it, and he says, how I earn a living, sharking, and it's like, well, how do you do that if they're? I mean, this is when you get a little
clarity.
Get a little clarity. You start to look at things like, And one more note on it. This is the only nitpicks I have with the movie. Hooper, played by Richard Dreyfuss, totally contradicts himself when they find the new shark and they string it up, and this is
the first suspected monster, but it isn't.
Right. And he does the bite radius, and he says to the chief, he's like, the simple fact is the bite radius here does not match. And Martin says, well, it's got to be. He's like, look, it probably is. It probably is. It probably is. It's extremely rare for these waters. It is a man eater. You're probably right. But then he goes, like 2 seconds later, he goes, it's 100 to 1. It's 100 to 1. So it's like, is he probably right that it is the shark, or is it a very low chance? I had some clarity while watching Jaws for the first time. I really got into it.
When your wife does this to you, do you go deep thought like you just did on it, and the next day you're like, I've been thinking about what you said, and she's like, what did I say?
Yes. Yes.
I don't remember that. I didn't say that.
There's a lot of that, as a matter of fact. She'll just say something like that. Sheer ounces, total push. I mean, no, but if she had had as much wine as I had Diet Coke, she'd have been a real mess on vacation.
Well, does she go for the standard bottle?
Yeah, but I don't think she has I don't know exactly how much she has.
Or does she go box?
Bottle. She goes bottle. And
the tall boys?
No, I think she's got a regular bottle.
Okay.
A regular bottle of wine.
Okay.
Just out of the fridge. What was it she told me? Oh, yeah, we got that new puppy, and I'm wearing him. This is how we're training the puppy, is I have a wearable leash.
Around your midsection?
Yes. So I'm hands-free. And one time last week, before we even left for the beach, she said, you need to wear the puppy and get me a bottle of wine out of the fridge. And so I'm hooking up the puppy to myself and getting her a bottle of wine, and I thought, have I ever felt more emasculated in my life?
I haven't seen these leashes. You
know,
hook it to you?
Yeah, you hook it to you. You put like a belt around yourself, and then
So you're hands-free.
You're hands-free.
Like one of those dog walkers.
That is the whitest thing I've ever heard.
Well, it's like what these are the people who have. Oftentimes, it's the people who walk multiple dogs.
Yeah.
For a living.
They got them all hooked to them.
Or I've seen a few people who are exercisers will take their dog hands-free.
Here's what it has. You hook it around yourself like a belt. Then you hook the dog to it.
Come here, puppy.
Right. Well, he's right there. Can't leave. I mean, he cannot leave you. I mean, I wear him around the house.
How much play? How many feet?
6. I'd say 5 or 6 feet. That's all he can do, you know. And I have a pouch of treats next to me. So when I get him to do the right thing,
oh, man.
just drop a treat to him.
Like one of those ladies who like to rescue animals, who often like other ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when my wife said, you need to wear that puppy and get me a bottle of wine, and I'm just doing it. And in the middle of it, I was like, wait a minute. Why am I on puppy duty? Why am I wearing this?
I'm wearing the harness.
Come on, buddy.
Who's training who?
Yeah.
Yes. Who's training who is a real question. I'm wandering around with a dog trailing behind me, getting her a bottle of wine. That's right. That's exactly what it's become.